She said that she would leave the country for good. Bo, have any of these elites actually stopped to ask themselves not how Donald Trump won the election, but why? Because that is key here.
Rachel Zegler's shocking eternal suffering comment about Trump supporters has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, leaving fans questioning her place in the spotlight.
Now, if you didn't vote, you really don't have a say in the conversation,
Right.
so you can go ahead and sit down.
How far can a celebrity push before they lose it all? With Hollywood's influence fading, is Zegler's comment a sign of a larger shift, one that could break the heart of American culture? Zegler's harsh words for Trump supporters. Rachel Zegler, a young actress known for her roles in West Side Story and the upcoming Snow White, has recently sparked a lot of controversy with a comment about politics. She expressed that she wished eternal suffering on supporters of former President Donald Trump, a statement that quickly attracted attention from fans, critics, and the media. Her words, bold and deeply critical, have left many people shocked, including those who have followed her career closely. The reaction to her comment has been a mix of disappointment, frustration, and worry, with many feeling that her statement crossed a line by attacking millions of people for their beliefs. For many, this incident represents a larger problem in how celebrities interact with the public on political issues. The backlash around Zegler's comment goes beyond just disagreement. It has hit fans who see her as a rising star with a lot of promise. Many people find it uncomfortable that someone with her influence would make such an intense statement about a large group of Americans. Her words have been described as celebrity overreach by some who feel that it's an example of a star using fame to promote an extreme viewpoint. This is not the first time that a Hollywood figure has faced criticism for expressing strong political opinions, but Zegler's specific comment has started concern about the growing battle between Hollywood and the general public. For many, the issue isn't that Zegler has a political opinion, but that her language was so harsh and unforgiving. Eternal suffering is an intense phrase, and many of her fans who have supported her acting career are taken aback by the depth of anger in her words. People who might have seen her as a relatable, down-to-earth actress now feel distanced by the hate in her message. This comment suggests an unwillingness to accept people with different views, and for fans, this tone feels unwelcoming and judgmental. In a time when the country is already deeply divided, statements like this can feel like salt in a wound. While it's clear that Zegler, like everyone else, has a right to her own views, the public's reaction reveals a desire for balance and respect from those in the spotlight. Many fans are questioning why stars feel the need to take such a strong, shocking stance on social media, knowing that their influence reaches millions. They are asking if there's a way for public figures to express their beliefs without resorting to language that might hurt others. Zegler's comment has opened up a conversation on what fans expect from celebrities in today's world. Her words have served as a reminder that with fame comes influence, and with influence, a unique responsibility. Fans are hoping that Zegler and others in Hollywood will take this opportunity to reflect on how their words impact audiences and whether they can use their platforms in ways that bring people together rather than push them apart. But that's not all. What happens when the actress behind Snow White wants to change the very heart of the classic character? Is Hollywood pushing too hard, or has Zegler gone too far? Zegler's controversial comments on Snow White. The actress revealed that Snow White in her film would be nothing like the innocent, obedient princess from the 1937 animated classic. Zegler described the character as more modern, independent, and strong-willed, a dramatic shift from the Snow White we've come to know and love. Her comments have started a firestorm of anger and confusion, leaving fans furious and questioning whether this new version of Snow White is really the character they've cherished for generations. For decades, Snow White has been the symbol of innocence, kindness, and purity. Her gentle nature and trusting heart made her a heroine to millions, especially to young girls growing up with Disney movies. Her story was simple, yet powerful. She overcame adversity not by fighting back with force, but by showing kindness to those around her. Snow White's grace, patience, and inner strength were the qualities that made her stand out, and they resonated deeply with audiences. But Zegler's words, promising a bold, independent Snow White who doesn't need saving by Prince, hurt fans who felt that Disney was betraying the essence of the beloved character. As soon as Zegler's comments hit the press, social media exploded. Fans from all over the world voiced their anger, accusing Disney of rewriting history in a desperate attempt to fit modern ideals. They argued that Snow White wasn't weak or helpless, she simply displayed a different type of strength. Her quiet courage and her ability to remain hopeful and compassionate in the face of evil made her an icon. Now it seemed Zegler's new Snow White was being transformed into something unrecognizable, someone who wasn't even close to the character that millions of fans had grown up with. The debate quickly grew heated, with passionate arguments flooding Twitter, Reddit, and other online platforms. Some fans felt betrayed by Disney's decision to change Snow White so dramatically. "Why does Snow White need to be modernized? She's timeless," one fan tweeted. Another commented, "We loved her because of her kindness, not because she was independent. This new version feels like an insult to what Snow White was always meant to represent." Fans of the classic Snow White felt as though their childhood memories were being erased in the name of political correctness and modern trends. What was at the heart of the criticism was a sense of loss. Snow White was always about something deeper than just being a princess. She represented the power of kindness, the strength that comes from being gentle, and the belief that goodness would prevail. Fans felt that this new version of Snow White, one who needed no prince to rescue her and who had a more fierce personality, wasn't Snow White at all. Instead, she was a just shadow of the character they had cherished for so long. Zegler's words felt like a slap in the face to those who adored the classic fairy tale. How could they accept a version of Snow White that discarded everything they loved about her? For many, this controversy was bigger than just one character. It was part of a larger trend in Hollywood that fans had begun to notice: the constant reinvention of beloved characters. From remakes of classic movies to remakes of timeless franchises, it seemed as though Hollywood was determined to change everything. Yet in doing so, it felt like the true soul of these characters was being lost. Fans didn't mind change, but they wanted it to be done with respect, to add layers and depth while preserving the heart of what made these characters iconic in the first place. The shift in Snow White's character felt particularly shaking because of her place in Disney history. She was the first princess, the one who started it all. In many ways, Snow White was the foundation on which Disney built its empire. To change her so harshly felt like an attack on the entire legacy of Disney princesses. If Snow White could be remade, what about Cinderella? Belle, Ariel, could all of them be next? Fans feared this was just the beginning of a larger trend that would rewrite every beloved Disney character into something unrecognizable. And then there was the broader issue of what Zegler's comments meant for the future of fairy tales in Hollywood. Was the industry moving away from the timeless, universal appeal of these stories? Snow White wasn't just a character for little girls, she was a symbol of hope for everyone, regardless of age or gender. Her quiet strength and her ability to endure hardship and still maintain her kindness resonated with people from all walks of life. But now, Zegler's new version of Snow White seemed to imply that only loud, defiant, self-sufficient characters were worthy of admiration. This new Snow White was not the princess who had taught generations the value of empathy and patience. She was something entirely different, something that left behind the very qualities that made Snow White stand out in the first place. As the debate raged on, fans started to wonder, had the world changed so much that the original Snow White no longer mattered? Could her innocence, kindness, and belief in others still resonate today, or was Disney just out of touch? Zegler's words weren't just about a princess. They sparked questions about the stories Hollywood tells and the values it champions. Supporters of the change saw it as necessary, a move to create a stronger, independent Snow White who could inspire young girls. But to many it felt forced. They didn't want a different heroine, they wanted the Snow White they loved, a symbol of childhood and simplicity. Changing her felt like losing something irreplaceable. This fierce backlash highlighted one thing: Snow White isn't just a story, she's a treasured icon. When Disney rewrites her, fans feel like they're losing part of their past, the reminder that goodness and kindness still matter. Rachel Zegler's bold take on Snow White shocked fans, but could this be a sign of something bigger? Why are celebrities' opinions not having the same impact they once did? Has Hollywood lost its power to shape the culture and influence politics? Celebrities and politics. In the past, Hollywood was seen as the heart of American culture, and celebrities had the power to shape opinions and even influence politics. Stars like Jane Fonda, Ronald Reagan, and Charlton Heston were not just famous, they were political icons. But today, something has changed. Celebrities' political messages no longer have the same impact they once did. Hollywood's influence is fading, and the question is, why? One of the biggest reasons Hollywood's power is reducing is the growing divide between celebrities and the rest of America. The world of Hollywood has always been filled with wealth, luxury, and privilege, and for many people, this can feel like a world far away from their own. Celebrities are often seen as out of touch with the daily struggles of the average American. When a star speaks out about a political issue or tries to influence how people should vote, it can feel like they don't really understand what regular people are going through. The issues that concern Hollywood stars, like movie deals or award shows, don't usually match up with the everyday challenges people face, such as paying bills or dealing with healthcare. Celebrities telling people how to vote can make them seem disconnected and arrogant. In recent years, this divide has only gotten worse. During elections, celebrities like Taylor Swift, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Oprah Winfrey have used their massive platforms to support political candidates and causes. Yet, despite all their efforts, the results have been shocking. In the 2020 presidential election, many Hollywood celebrities helped Joe Biden, hoping to convince their followers to do the same. But despite all the political messages coming from Hollywood, the majority of Americans still voted for Donald Trump or other conservative candidates. This was a clear sign that for many, Hollywood's political influence just wasn't working anymore. So why is this happening? The answer lies in how Hollywood's relationship with its audience has changed. Today, the world is different. Social media has given everyone a voice, and that includes millions of people who don't live in Hollywood's bubble. Anyone with a phone or a computer can share their thoughts and opinions online. This has weakened the power of celebrity influence. In the past, when a movie star spoke out on an issue, it was a big deal. People listened. But now, celebrities are just one voice in a crowded world of online opinions. Their political messages are lost in the noise of social media, where everyone has a platform. It's no longer enough to be famous to have influence. This shift has been even more apparent during recent elections. Celebrities like Lady Gaga, Zendaya, and Robert Downey Jr. all threw their support behind Democratic candidates, hoping to persuade people to vote their way. But in the end, many voters didn't listen. They didn't feel connected to the Hollywood elite or their political views. Instead, they chose to vote for the candidate who represented their own values and concerns. The truth is that most people don't feel like they have much in common with celebrities, and this shows in the voting results. Another reason why Hollywood's political influence is shrinking is the rise of a new kind of celebrity. Today's stars are not just actors or musicians, they're also business persons, social media influencers, and reality TV stars. These new figures, who are often more relatable to their audiences, have a different kind of power. They may not have the same fame as a Hollywood legend, but they connect with people on a more personal level. Their political messages, if they share them, seem more authentic. As a result, many people no longer turn to traditional movie stars for political guidance. Instead, they trust figures who seem more down to earth and who understand their everyday lives. Hollywood's political influence is no longer what it used to be. As the gap between Hollywood and everyday Americans widens, it raises the question, should celebrities continue using their platforms for politics, or have they lost their ability to make a real difference? The days when a Hollywood influence could change the course of history are over, and that's a reality Hollywood needs to accept. Hollywood used to have the power to change how people think, but now it's losing that power. Can Hollywood bring us together again? With America more divided than ever, will movies help unite us, or will they keep making the divide worse? Time for Hollywood to unite America, not divide it. Hollywood has always held a special place in American culture. It is where people go to escape reality, to experience stories that connect them to characters and worlds far beyond their own. For decades, movies were a way for people to come together, forget about their differences, and share in an experience. Whether they were sitting in a dark theater, laughing, crying, or looking at the screen, movies had a way of uniting people. No matter where they came from or what they believed, movies made everyone feel like they were part of something bigger. But today, that power is going away, and Hollywood is in danger of losing what once made it great. For years, Hollywood has been a space where people could escape from the harshness of the world. It wasn't about politics. It wasn't about what side you were on. It was about telling great stories. Whether it was a movie about love, adventure, or even fantasy, it was the stories that brought people together. Movies like The Shawshank Redemption, The Pursuit of Happiness, or Forrest Gump didn't need to push any political agenda. They simply told stories of hope, struggle, and success. Those movies made people believe in something bigger than themselves. They didn't divide audiences, they united them. America is more divided than ever before. People are at odds over politics, race, and even basic values. At a time when the country needs healing, Hollywood has a chance to help bring people together. But for that to happen, Hollywood needs to remember the power of a good story. Movies are a form of escape, a place where differences should fade away, even if just for a few hours. Hollywood used to be a place where stories spoke to the heart, where people left the theater feeling connected to each other. But today it feels like movies are trying to make people pick a side, Democrat or Republican, liberal or conservative, and that's not what movies should be about. The power of movies has always been in their ability to tell stories that everyone can relate to. Think about the movies that have lasted through the years. The Godfather wasn't about political parties, it was about family, loyalty, and power. Rocky wasn't about which side of the aisle you sit on, it was about the underdog fighting for his chance. These movies spoke to the emotions that everyone could understand, no matter who they were or where they came from. They were stories about human beings, and human beings are all the same at their core, no matter their background. Yet today, Hollywood seems to have forgotten what made it so powerful. Instead of focusing on bringing people together, it seems to be focusing more on dividing them. Stars take to social media, saying things that not only hurt people, but also make them feel like they don't belong in the Hollywood conversation. When celebrities call for a political side to win or make negative comments about people who think differently, it pushes people away. Rather than celebrating the diversity of thought, Hollywood is making it harder for people with different beliefs to even enjoy a movie. At a time when the country is so divided, Hollywood has the opportunity to heal the wounds. Movies have always been a mirror to society. They show us who we are, what we struggle with, and what we dream about. A well-told story doesn't need to push a political message to have meaning. Movies used to be a way for people to leave the theater with a sense of unity. In a time when the country feels more torn than ever, it's Hollywood's job to bring people back together. The industry has the power to inspire change, to remind people of the things that matter, and to show them that, despite everything, we all have more in common than we think. Now more than ever, Hollywood needs to remember that its power lies not in politics or division, but in the shared experience of storytelling. It's time for Hollywood to unite America, not divide it. And that can start with the next movie on the big screen. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see if Hollywood can reclaim its power to unite, or if the divide will only grow deeper. Please like, share, and comment your thoughts.